Hi, it's Will from StormTheCastle.com, and this is a quick video called "The Making of DragonSlayer 7 Part C." And this is I want to just show you a little bit about how I made the actual animation. So what I did was I created a whole little room. I just made a duplicate of the room that I filmed the original footage in with me, and I made a bunch of little miniatures. I just, the couch, the books, the major things, the bookshelf, the curtains, the little clock, and of course the DragonSlayer unit, the table, and the rug that goes under it. And I used an armature to make the doll, and some parts from a G.I. Joe, the head and the arms, but the rest of it is, and some clothing. And it's a pretty interesting little project. And I used foam board for the walls and the doors, and that look into the kitchenette there, that's actually just a picture on the wall, but it looks pretty good. It looks like it goes into the other room. The door opens because, well, I got some more stuff coming up, and I've got a whole adventure planned out for this, coming in installments. I just wanted to show you that how I keep the doll secured, and the thing is, the way animators often do it is I use wing nuts and bolts, and I drilled holes in the floor, and that way I can secure his feet down and work on him. And underneath, see, and I have this, the way I got this set up is underneath, I have room underneath there. I can reach under there and do the bolts. So it's a pretty interesting little setup. A lot of fun to make and a lot of fun to use, and it came out looking pretty good. It looks like a pretty good duplicate of the room. And I should show you, I have the DragonSlayer unit does light up there. What I have is a little power supply here to light it up. See it? And I use my oh, it's not on right now, but I use a laptop because what I did was I filmed video footage of myself moving around when I fell on the floor, and then I got up and I was looking around. I filmed myself doing that, and then I loaded that on the laptop so I could see the body motions I was making, and then I could try to mimic those somewhat with the animated doll. So it helped some. Animators will do that very specifically, copy the body motions really accurately. But I mean, I didn't put a lot of time into that. I just wanted to capture it basically. So that's the setup. And I have more sets coming and more installments to this video, so it's pretty fun. And I'll see if I got some video I can pop in. I'll show you some of the making of this and some of the making of the armature. Here's the actual room that I filmed and I made the duplicate of. So I did a pretty good job. The clock, the bookcases, the curtains, the sofa, no cat, and the table, and wall collar and the kitchenette and whatnot, and all kinds of stuff. So kind of pretty cool. It was a lot of fun to do this. And here's a couple of screenshots, a couple of pictures that helped me to set up the animation. On the left here is the actual room, and that's me lying on the floor. This is the actual unit, the DragonSlayer 7 unit. This is the real room. And this one here is the animated room. It's the miniature room, and it looks pretty good. Looks like a pretty good copy. And that's the mannequin there, lying on the floor. So it was fun to do, to try to set it up. Okay, what I've got here is a layout of the room, 1/6 scale. I carefully measured everything, placement of the windows and the doors, the floor plan of this actual room that we're in. And now I'm starting to work on the furnishings. Like, see, there's the table. And this will be the refrigerator. To try to get a good duplicate of the room. Just wanted to show you that the set is coming along here. I'm starting to build. I used the same kind of a wood material for the floor of the set as the real floor here in the room, and I printed out a picture of a Persian rug similar to the one I have here, and I'm using that as the rug. The refrigerator, the shape of the room and the size of the room is accurate. So we step back, if we can look at this, see, it's like a miniature movie set, and it looks pretty good. It almost looks real, but this is the miniature scene for the stop motion animation, right? And I wanted to just update on various things. The refrigerator is done, the couch, bookshelf, the windows, and what I did with those is I actually took real pictures and then printed them out and pasted them the door, and that's important. And that, hopefully that looks like it's another room, but it's actually just a picture posted right on the wall of the kitchenette. So it's coming out good. And one more thing I wanted to show you is the DragonSlayer itself. Well, the actual unit does light up. I'm wiring that in now, so it's kind of fun. All the stuff is pretty basic stuff. I'll have more about this on my website, how to make these various miniatures. I love the little bookshelf. You know, everything coming out pretty good. The door is a little bit of work because it's actually going to open, because that sets the scene into the next installment of the animation. So I'll continue on. Okay, so now I'm building up the foam body, and for the torso and the legs I really don't have to be too careful about it because it's going to be covered by clothing. So just to fill it out and get it about a rough shape, and then done it so, you know, everything bends well.